Well, welcome. Good morning, guys. We are officially 23 weeks out, and time is absolutely flying. So today's vlog, we've got a pull day going down, and I am going to give you some updates on prep and how things are going. As you can probably hear from my voice, I do not sound too well because fact of the matter is I am actually not too well. I think everyone in Rotherham seems to have some sort of flu, virus / chest infection going on. So we are all sick, or have been sick, or recovering from sickness, as I am currently. So I am definitely feeling a little bit ropey. I mean, I have seen better days, shall we say. Now today, I have just finished up some of the check-ins. I am actually running a little bit later, I'm not going to lie. I did have a little bit of a line, or tried to have a line. Normally would be up and going by around, I would probably say 10 to 6 latest, especially on a work day, which is every day. But today and a few days this week, I have had a bit of a later one. But look, sometimes you need it, right? And today I feel like I'm almost getting over whatever's going around. Now, a little bit of a tip: if you are getting sick or you are trying to improve your immune system acutely, this tip actually cost me €200. So I went to Marbella a couple of years ago now, I think last year before, can't remember. And I had some throat thing going on, right? And it just wasn't going away. So I thought, right, I'm trying to work, I'm trying to do these lectures, and I sound like Voldemort. And I ended up finding like a remote doctor. They came out, assessed me, and he gave me a prescription for extremely high strength vitamin D3. I actually still have it. It's like 50,000 IU capsules. I took it for 3 days. First day I took like 100,000 IU, second day 50, third day 50, and whatever I had was completely gone. So it cost me €200 to basically get told to have an extremely high dose of vitamin D3. So top tip for you guys: vitamin D3 at a higher dose acutely to try and battle and get rid of whatever illness you have or whatever flu you have going on. And it genuinely works. I've just done that this week as well, and it's definitely helped. So top tip for you all. Now, I've given you top tips, so I request a small tip from you now. Please make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content and if you want to show me some love. My goal for this year is potentially try and hit 100k. If I can do that, I'll be happy. I like to set these little goals, both in business, even with content, but in bodybuilding especially. I think having a timeline, having smaller goals, and having bigger goals, short-term and long-term goals, definitely helps. Keeps you driven, keeps you motivated, and it's always nice working towards something. And I don't think achievement of anything in itself means much, but the road that takes you there and the lessons that you learn definitely do. So the plan for now is to get my morning walk done. I will do a little bit of posing after as well, and then meal one. Food hasn't changed, and I will update you on what is going on and where we are at on the treadmill shortly. So stay tuned. Okay, so you should all hear me super loud and clear, as I actually have got a microphone on, which I will keep for the day because I want to make sure that the audio is impeccable. And sometimes when you just use the iPhone microphone, it's just not the best. And we're all about having a great experience, right? Prep update. Steps still the same. 10,000 daily. Diet still the same. And we are down to 270.9 this morning. I'm not sure if that's from the illness, but I'm not going to complain about it. I have never, ever stepped forward with fat loss so easily with this much food. There's no fat burners in play at the moment, just dietary changes, and still eating 4,650 calories on training day, 4,000 on rest day. That is not including my veggie intake, because that is a variable that stays consistent year round. So in comparison to last week, I am like 5 pounds down, which is fine. Initially, start of the prep, I do want to see body weight coming down a little bit quicker. So as a reference point, and I think this is where a lot of people make a huge mistake, they will start prep slow and then ramp things up towards the end, and that just leads to a tired physique and not sustainable real fat loss or ability to really hold tissue. So whenever you go to a fat loss phase or a prep, remember guys, more body fat you carry, easier it is to lose it. As you get leaner, that is when things get harder. That is when you have to protect the muscle. So start strong and then finish off a little bit slower. That's always the best way to go. That's what I do with clients, and that is what I do myself. And as you have seen this year, the results from the team last year as well, results from the team have been crazy. Bringing my guys and girls in fresh, big, full, round, peeled. More importantly, with a great prep experience, not having to rush, not having to kill themselves, having a smooth and easy prep where we're able to pull back, refeed, take diet breaks, and turn it into a game of push and pull, which is what this game is all about. I think the worst mistakes I've seen made is a poorly managed timeline for prep, where people just do not give themselves enough time to diet, or simply start too slow and start rushing towards the end and then wither away body parts in pursuit of getting stage lean. So less waffling on now. I've got 25 minutes of walking here at 5 kilometers an hour with a 2.5% incline. And as you can hear, I am pretty fit at this body weight. Very, very fit. So that's definitely a great sign. Resting heart rate's nice and low. I'm not sure if we'll do any cardio this year, but I won't be opposed to it. The only issue is, for me to get my heart rate up with how fit I am at the moment, I'd probably have to do the stairs, because the bike would need to be extremely intense. So we'll see. Anyway, I'm going to get back to my client messages now. As generally, I have my power hour every single morning. If it's a busy day, it'll be more like 90 minutes. If it's a steady day, it's generally 60 minutes of hard work, the check-ins and the big stuff daily, especially now with guys dieting. And then when I'm on the treadmill, I do more applies that I can do without needing to voice note. And then I make sure this way I'm not losing time, not losing any response time as well with the guys and girls, so that everyone is looked after. So anyway, work time. See you at meal one. Right, that's 25 minutes on the Old Faithful treadmill boxed off, and today I'm actually going to make my legs eggs a little bit different. Now, Dr. Serrano, some of you that don't know him, you better get to know him. He was someone that actually consulted a lot with John Meadows, rest in peace, one of the best in the industry. He actually spoke about eggs before, and a lot of people claim they are intolerant to eggs or have certain digestive issues from eggs. And he actually said that consuming eggs in different fashions and different ways will actually help you prevent developing an intolerance to them. So generally what I like the most is, for sure, my fried eggs. But what I am going to do today is a bit of a scrambled egg. Now, avocado oil spray, pure avocado, you can get it from Amazon. Spray a little bit on the pan. And then what I always do is wipe it off with a tea towel, so that there is no extra added calories, but my pan is moistened. What a saying, what a frame. What a phrase. frame what we're talking about. Moistened. So you moisten up your pan, get it moist, and then you put your ingredients on top of the pan. Now, if you want to make a perfect scrambled egg, what you have to do is get your pan up to a very high heat, get it super, super warm. Then once it's super warm, you apply your eggs, and then you turn the heat right down and you cook them. That's my top tip for the best egg making. I actually do love eggs. I could eat them numerous times a day, but my eggs in the morning are definitely a treat. Now, the reason why I've actually took out my bread is because bread is my super, super weapon in an off season, because no matter how high my food is or how full I am, I can always eat bread. But as you can imagine, in prep, if you have got foods that are like that, it's probably not a good idea keeping them in. So generally, the first thing that I actually remove out of my diet when I transition into a calorie deficit is bread, because I don't really want to be eating anything that's going to lead to more hunger. Or I don't really want to eat any foods that I enjoy too much. Don't get me wrong, my diet is based mainly around the foods that I enjoy. But the biggest mistake I see people make is they include or keep foods that I wouldn't say trigger foods, but they're simply foods that sometimes can be too nice. And for me, that's always been a big mistake in most people's cases, because all this will then do is just drive hunger higher when, trust me, in prep, you are going to get pretty damn hungry anyway. So you probably don't need to be doing things to make that worse, let's face it. Because fact of the matter is, it's going to get tough, especially towards the end. And that is the time where you embrace it. And if you are going to keep something in that makes it worse, you're probably making a bit of an error. So this is I've made an omelette by mistake. It's fine. I was going to make scrambled eggs, but I was talking to you guys, so it's going to have to be an omelette, because it's actually formed now, so it'll be fine. It'll still be good enough. I'll have to have scrambled eggs tomorrow. See, that's a moment of distraction, but look at this omelette. It's actually pretty perfect. Anyway, I will get the rest of his breakfast going, and I will speak to you on the dinner table. Right, we've got the meal one cooked up, and it's actually 8:15, which is very late for me with meal one. Normally it goes down at 7:30, so it's going to be a bit of a later schedule today, shall we say. I definitely am looking forward to getting rid of this lurgy, because it's still kicking my ass big time. I'm having to take some Beecham's before bed, and the paracetamol always makes me super bloated, so I'm not really able to do my vacuums in the morning this morning, which is disappointing. But I'm hoping over the next few days I can get back to 100%, and then get back to usual business with the vacuum work and the routine. So, taste test. We're good. What's up, dog? What's up, Zena? Where we go? Where we going? Where we going? Tell me. Tell me where we're going. Tell me then. Tell me. I think that's Zena telling me she wants to go walking, don't you think? Whenever I put this on, this is like a onesie / hoodie, whatever it is. But whenever I put this on, she knows she's getting taken out, so she gets super excited. Don't judge me. This is extremely warm and fluffy. As at the moment, it's pretty cold outside, and I want to make sure that I don't get worse. I'm coming now. Chill out. So time to get some more steps blocked off. After meal 1, I always get some activity done, whether it's on the treadmill or outside with the dog. I generally take like 5-minute walk after meal 1 and 2, just to make sure 1, I get my steps in, but 2, great for digestion. And if I hadn't had these little walks incorporated, I would probably get about 2,000 steps across my entire day, due to the nature of the job, right? Which is sat on my computer desk majority of the day. Here we go. Go on. Right, back in my little lab, aka the office. Jesus Christ, I need a haircut and a beard trim. It's actually crazy the rate at which my hair grows. It's ridiculous. I had a full head shave 5 days ago and a beard trim, and it looks like I haven't had one for weeks, which is terrible. Anyway, work's all wrapped up, and I'm just looking at my sheets here, just to give you a bit of a more of an insight. Sleep's actually been pretty good, even with some of the illness that's creeping through. Last night was a little bit touch and go, but for me, because my sleep has been really good, a night when I'm getting like 7.5 hours sleep is probably a touch and go night. So it's still pretty decent. Now, on Thursday, on my rest day, where I'm eating 4,000 calories still, I actually did like 4,000 steps. And for me, that is very, very low. So I basically did 2 5-minute walks, and the rest was just me sat in the office. So the steps that accumulated was just me like doing my normal day-to-day task, which is just cooking and just existing, right? And I still dropped weight from Thursday to Friday, which is like 0.6 of a pound. And yesterday, got back to it as normal, with normal steps at 10K. And I dropped 2.1 pounds in one day. So I'm keen to see how it trends over the next few days. It seems to me like my body's definitely got the memo that it is prep time, and we're ready to rock and roll. So it's moving at an appropriate pace, considering that when I started prep, I was like pretty much 276, 278, thereabouts, 270, 276.8 on average that week. And we're pretty much down to like 270.9 now. That's like 2 weeks in, 2 weeks to the day today, actually. So the rate of loss for now is moving perfectly. So no need to adjust. And some of that will have been skewed as well, with me not being very well and getting a little bit of an infection, which saw my weight going up as well. So this is where, guys, you have to make sure that sometimes you don't just push. Sometimes backing off is equal as important, because just pushing when you may be fatigued or there may be something off is not going to lead to more results or getting better. Sometimes backing off is what will actually push you forward, which is exactly what I've seen even myself this week. And I've seen with numerous clients, actually. Hannah, one of them, natural client, she messaged me on the week saying, shall we push harder? Shall we just do like really hard few weeks of fat loss? And I made her rest for 2 days, eat more food, and voila, she dropped like 2 pounds. So, pushing harder is not the answer in some cases when you're already working hard enough. Sometimes just backing off and giving your body some breathing space is what's required to keep things moving forward. And I think this is where a lot of people want to coach with not that much experience. And this is me I'm not putting shade on anyone, because I think a lot of people coaching is a good thing. But when you work with athletes, if you haven't seen these patterns, sometimes it's very easy to make a mistake and make a decision based off lack of experience, and then it leads to wrong decision making, and then clients basically starving themselves or pushing unnecessarily to try and get in shape. Anyway, I'm done rambling on. Time for meal number 2. So, time to go downstairs, put it in the pan, get it warmed up, and consume it. And then a little bit more steps again.
Put 1/4 tablespoon or a teaspoon of salt. Danella, I'm going to tell you what he's doing. And he probably doesn't even know he's doing it.
Right, we've got my big bottle of water. And I've got my intra-workout stack, which still hasn't changed. We still have 20 grams of pumpage, 20 grams of MPS, which I have post-workout with my magnesium. And then I actually do have my glutamine and creatine, which I will actually add into my coffee just now. So plan of action is to drink this, have my pre-workout meal in about 15 minutes after I've actually had this, and then get ready to go to the gym. Now, when it comes to glutamine, I actually take in, at the moment, over 40 grams per day. I think for gut health, it has been pretty tremendous. And I'll be honest, anecdotally, what I have seen recently is a big improvement in my sleep and restfulness, just having extra glutamine before bed. So creatine and glutamine, in my opinion, should be staples for pretty much all of you when you are looking to optimize your training performance, improve your actual digestion, and really see a better outcome when it comes to general health as well. So let's see what this baby tastes like. Not the best. I might have to put a bit of sweetener in it. Not the worst, not the best. So, right, I'm going to sit down my coffee, read a little bit of a book, put a little bit of sweetener in this, and the sweetener that I always use is stevia, which is undefeated when it comes to flavour and the amount they actually need to get desired taste. Now what I'm actually going to do as well is put a little bit of cinnamon inside my coffee too. And the book that I'm reading at the moment, guys, is Think Clear. It's a tremendous book, I'll be honest. I think when it comes to better decision making and when it comes to really having a better process in place to make better decisions that can be transferable for my coaching, for my business, it's really, really helpful. I think a lot of us do make decisions without really thinking them through, and especially in my early years, especially in the past, I have been very much guilty of that, and this book is definitely helping me. I'm probably going to read it twice. It's that good. I'm not going to lie. It's really, really good. So, be enjoying it. Right, I'm going to enjoy my coffee. I'm going to enjoy my book. And then pre-workout meal. Right, we've got my pre-meal, which is 140 cream of rice, 20 grams of dates today, as I fancied dates instead of raisin. We've got my pineapple, and we've got 3 caps of Ensure. We've got Digest Pharma Pro, and 1 cap of Omega Pharma Pro. So this is going down around an hour to an hour and 20 before I actually train. Now, I normally have my coffee and then I sit down to eat about 15-20 minutes later. Right. One thing I actually prefer doing these days is not having my caffeine intake close to training. So I generally like to have my coffee probably about 90 minutes before I train, which is usually about 15 minutes before I actually eat my pre. This way, I always feel like my energy in the gym is a lot more consistent. I'm not really getting like a spike or a high. It's more so just a consistent level, which I personally much prefer. So I'm going to eat this now, then watch a little bit of YouTube, do some more client replies, and then we'll get ready to go to the gym. Get my pre-workouts ready, intros, post-workout, and then gym time. Do a bit of car talk today. I think it's perfect consistency today. Right, pull day is about to go down. Well, just had to evacuate a bit of a situation on a slip road. This is why you should not have people who are learning how to drive try and get on motorways, because situations like this happen where I just got nearly jammed into a lorry. It's a good job that my car can actually shift. Anyway, back on topic. Pull day is going down today. Menu for today's session is going to be 2 sets of a single arm pull down, followed by 1 set of chest support T-bar, 2 sets of Cybex single arm row, and then we've got 2 sets of prime row for upper back and 2 sets of a lower lat row on the prime machine to finish off on. And then generally what I like to do is run my bicep work and do zigzag sets. So I will do my standing EZ bar cable curl, pardon me, and I will go straight into my single arm reverse cable fly, and then go back and forth, so that one, I do not waste time, but I'm more efficient with my rest periods as well. And I generally find that when I'm doing an exercise like a bicep curl, it's almost like a bit of a rest period for me between like a rear delt exercise. So it means that my session duration is a little bit lower, and I'm just more effective with my time at the gym. Not that I'm there to rush, that's never ever the case, and it's never something I preach, but it's something that I believe just keeps me going. I don't feel like I ever need to have as much rest in between exercises like a bicep curl. So instead of just standing around waiting to go again, I can actually do something productive, right? And then normally I do my chest support shrugged either at the very end, or I will throw it in right after my last set of rows, which is probably what I'm going to do today. And then I'm actually going to do 2 rounds of posing when I finish training now. At 23 weeks out now, posing is something that I have already been more diligent with. I'm doing 1 round of posing every single morning after my morning steps, but I am also going to add in posing post-workout, just to make sure my conditioning and my display work is there. The only issue I have at the moment is because I have been having to have some flu meds. I'm just feeling a little bit heavy in my GI, which is not the best. I'm not really able to pull a decent vacuum at the moment, and I feel very bloated whenever I take paracetamol or anything as such, which is not the most ideal, but it is what it is. It's better than being sick, and needs must, right? And to be honest, today I feel like it's almost disappearing. I'm definitely not as sneezy and not as rough, shall we say. So I'm very much looking forward to this session. Now, one thing I wanted to talk about is peaking methods and general mistakes I see people make when peaking for shows. Is I see people still over restrict water and end up just being flat as a pancake on stage. When you are already lean enough, guys, restricting your water excessively, all it's going to do is flatten you out. Your muscle is majority water. When you are legit lean, you do not need to dry out using diuretics. You do not need to do anything as such, and it won't have any benefits. Majority, 99% of guys that I have really delivered with in the past 2 years, we haven't used any diuretics and we haven't excessively restricted water. Everyone's been hydrated and striated, and the main reason for that is, guys, first, a well-executed timeline. Secondly, we get in shape, we get legit lean. Thirdly, when there is no body fat present, there is no subcutaneous water, especially if you have managed your fatigue well, and especially if you have peak correctly. And a large part of the process with peaking is not depletion. It's not driving someone into the ground in that last week. That last week is all about backing off and getting your body fresh, because if you go into a carb load situation, for example, and you are already super fatigued, guess what? That food's not going to stick. All it's going to do is just run straight through you, because your body will utilize all that food as energy. So you're not going to really get the benefits that you're looking for when it comes to trying to actually refill your glycogen stores. And this is where I see guys that are, you know, with no disrespect, but very small, carving up on crazy amounts of food. And do you know what, guys? I over-dieted myself last year, and I was feeding for 2 weeks, eating excess of 1,000 grams of carbs plus. And guess what? It wasn't sticking anywhere because I already overdid it. So just something to learn from, right? And this is where I think my expertise as a coach and an athlete is pivotal in my learning process and my ability to deliver with clients, because I learn these things myself and I know what not to do with clients, and generally it leads to better decision making in the long run. So just food for thought, guys. Anyway, it's time to get my head in the game. I might give Meg a quick call as she is away for a client show in Amsterdam, and then we'll get stuck into the session, guys. I'll see you in the gym. post-workout meal is at my mum's. So I've got 300 grams of cod made by my my mother in the house that I pretty much grew up in / spent some of my teenage years of bodybuilding. Now, any of you that know my mum and dad know they like the plants and cactuses, so we've got a bit of a collection here. Anyway, I'm going to eat the meal. Taste test. She's done it well. She always does. And then I've got my cream of rice in here. Usual meal. No changes to this meal. It's still the same. We've got 50 grams of rice and 100 grams of cream of rice here. With some cinnamon, salt, and I'll consume this first and this second. The main reason why I have cream of rice instead of rice is because I can actually put a little bit less water in my cream of rice. So 150 cream of rice with like 250 water, the volume of it is quite small. So I do not get bloated off the back of this meal. And I'm ready to eat again in like an hour and a half, which is perfect. So do not volumize your food if you want to keep your midsection tight. Okay, and we are back home. My mum has stocked me up with what I would say my absolute favourite when it comes to meat, and that is my venison. She minces my venison into little steaks, like this, and then she freezes them for me, so I've got like a perfect little burger that's extremely lean and still get my red meat kick for my prep with no additional fats, so I can enjoy my whole eggs with it. So let me just show you my full freezer. Oh, big up Mama C. She's a good egg. This is going to last a little while. I have been having two of these a day, but at the moment I'm just having one, and then for meal 2 I'm just having chicken. This way I pretty much have a different meat source every single meal. And this one we've got all the frozen fruit. I'll be honest, I much prefer frozen fruit. Meg, however, she likes fresh, but I eat it because she gets that much of it, right, that if I don't eat it, it goes off. So I am a frugal man. I don't like wasting stuff ever. So I have to eat it. But if I was to just make a choice and just pick one, it would always be frozen. Anyway, meal number 5 going down, and one of my best friends, like the best friends of all time, Josh, is actually coming over to see me. So I think he wants to go out for some food. Obviously, I will not be participating in food, but I will be. I think he's here now, but I will be eating mine. Right, meal 5 cooking up. Meal 6. Josh, do you want to come, Josh? Come on. This is the main amigo of many years. When I first came to England off the boat, he actually took me in. And I very quickly got banned from taking a shit at his mum's as well. That was the first. Yeah. So Josh knew me when I couldn't hardly speak English. You carving up, Josh? Carving up on the steak.
Would you need help with the grilling? Are you okay?
I think we'll be fine. Thank you very much. Yeah. I mean, this is mine. I've got my water. King's down. It's actually really good. I'll tell you what, this is going to be a spot after prep. We walked for about 25 minutes to try and get in Mill and Carter because Josh does like Mill and Carter. We got turned away. I asked him for an accommodation, and we actually got to this place on West Street. And I was just talking to Josh, walking past all the bars. There's Maida Vale up the road, where I was head doorman, and then Crystal, where I actually worked on the doors back in the day. That brought back some memories and nostalgia. Any of you watching this that recognise from the doors, you'll know what I mean. There was many good parts and many bad parts. Got some lucky times of escape as well. But anyway, that'll be a story for another time, right? I'll get back to the evening. So we are back home. a wholesome evening with my best friend in the whole wide world. He genuinely has done a lot for me in many, many years. He's been there for me in many of preps in my younger days. He's been for me in many, many tough situations in life. So he is a one of a kind. He really is. Now, last meal, guys, still hasn't changed. I'm going to show you my cream of rice. We've got chocolate orange with white chocolate hazelnut ISO Pro. And we do have 15 grams of peanut butter in there, actually almond butter, and 200 grams of fruit. And then with this, we do have my nighttime sups, which are here. As you can see, there's extra curcumin in there. We've still got Ensure, we've got Dream Sleep, we've got magnesium, all the Train by JP range. I do take in extra care. Now, the extra love heart and heart care that I take, I personally have seen massive success with a slightly higher dose. Now, look, if affordability is there and you are investing in your health whilst pursuing your bodybuilding dreams, I think it's worth doing. I have seen noticeable improvements with just a little bit of a higher dose of both of these with my lipids. So something worth trying. And code Kuba10 for all of your Train by JP needs. Guys, I'm going to eat this and I will cap off the day tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in for today, and I'll see you on the other side. There we have it. It's the day after tomorrow. It has been a very productive week, so I wanted to recap this video on an update on where we are at 23 weeks out. So time is ticking. It's scary actually when we look at the timeline and look at the time frame at which everything is moving. So this week, on average, we are down quite a decent chunk. So I'm definitely pleased. The start point for me was pretty much 280 before I went into the pre-prep phase. So when we look at the overall progress, pretty much down to 273, 272.9 to be exact on average for the week. Steps have been pretty much hit at 10k, apart from the one day where I did take an additional rest day with just doing 5k steps, and I still lost weight the following day. But this is now where it's week 2 of reintroduction of supplementation back in. So this is where I do think a lot of hardness and a lot of fullness will actually come back on, and this is where the body weight probably wouldn't move quite as quickly. So it's a very different prep where, 1, we had a better start point. 2, the rate of loss has been adequate enough to begin with without the need to rush, because I've got 22 weeks still, 23 weeks actually to the first show. So I've got plenty of time to get that done. 23 weeks actually. So got plenty of time to get the job done and plenty of time for fat loss to be happening. And given where I am now, it's not a fat place to be either. So I am on track. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, all the fun stuff, and I'll see you next week for 22 weeks out vlog.